Bishop Kicanas, thank you so much for joining us here on Currents today. We really appreciate your time, sir.
Good to be with you, Matt.
Well, you recently spoke before a subcommittee in Washington, D.C., a House subcommittee on immigration about this very issue. Tell me, just if you will, briefly what you told the subcommittee and what is kind of the USCCB position on the immigration issue.
Well, the Conference of Bishops is very interested to prod and advocate for comprehensive immigration policy reform. This is what we believe would be the true answer to border security. We are encouraging comprehensive immigration policy that would have a process for an earned pathway to legalization. That's not amnesty, but an earned pathway for people who are in the country illegally. The process would have some kind of proportionate consequences for the act of illegal entry, something like including fines or learning English or going to the back of the line. Our hope is that comprehensive immigration policy would have a worker program to allow workers to come to this country legally and a worker rights protection program. And also that there be a more facile way to unite families that for the present time are separated for long periods of time, which is a deep concern. Our hope, too, is that there would be binational efforts to try to improve the economy of sending countries, because many people don't want to leave their country. They'd prefer to stay at home where they are in the culture where they have grown up. And if the economic situations in sending countries could be improved, there would be less of a desire or interest in migrating.
Right. Now, some people might have the perception that the Bishops' Conference is maybe somehow in support of illegal immigration or in support of amnesty or something like that. You mentioned the clarification there just a moment ago about the earned path to citizenship that the USCCB does support not being amnesty. Why do you think there are those perceptions out there about what the USCCB actually proposes here?
Well, I think some groups like to characterize the position of the conference as being for open borders, being for amnesty, being for illegal immigration. These are catchwords that really do not catch what the bishops are truly trying to say. The bishops realize the right of countries to protect their borders, the need for countries to know who is in their country. We are not for open borders. The bishops are not for illegal immigration. Illegal immigration isn't good for people crossing the desert at risk of their own lives. It's not good for a country not to know who is in its country. And the bishops are not for amnesty. There ought to be penalties for illegal entry into the country, but those should be workable and achievable. And so I think a lot of times blogs and radio shows and so on try to characterize the positions of those encouraging comprehensive immigration policy in a way that it really is not the intention. And so I think it's important for the conference, for the church, for those who support comprehensive immigration policy to explain clearly what is being asked for and why it would improve our situation.
Now, this is something, too, that you see firsthand right there in Arizona. I mean, you are the Bishop of Tucson, so you're right there along the U.S.-Mexico border.
This is the epicenter of immigration, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there along kind of, yeah, as you said, the epicenter of all this. What do you see there? I mean, what is the impact of SB 1070 on the people right there that you come in contact with every day?
Well, SB 1070 came about because of the frustration of people and the fears that people have. There are issues along the border that do need to be addressed, whether it's drug smuggling, human trafficking, weapons smuggling. These are violence. These are serious issues along the border, and they need to be addressed. Our concern about Senate Bill 1070 is it's not going to address border security. What it may result in is the breakup of families where there is perhaps one parent who is a citizen and the other who is not, where there are children whose parents are not legal or children who were brought to this country by their parents. and have never lived anywhere else but here in the United States. They do not speak Spanish. The fear is that Senate Bill 1070 will result in the breakup of families and make it even harder for immigrant families to report crimes out of fear. The true answer to the concerns that led to Senate Bill 1070 is comprehensive immigration policy reform, which would then allow our border security to focus on the true issues around border security, which is drug trafficking and human trafficking, weapons smuggling, and the violence that sometimes exists by people who are entering the country with nefarious purposes.
All right. Bishop Gerald Kicanas with the USCCB, also the Bishop of Tucson, Arizona. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. Wish we had more time to spend with you because, of course, this is an issue we could talk about all day long, but we are just out of time. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, let me know if I can help again.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.